Welcome back to Tissue World Television. I'm Michael Jackson, and it's my great pleasure on this episode to introduce you to one of our speakers at the conference here at Tissue World Milan on day one. His name is Pierre Bach. He's the research manager from Hawkins Wright, based in London, and he flew in specially to present your paper at the conference. Pierre, a real pleasure to have you here.
Thank you, Michael.
You're talking about pulp.
That's right.
So I guess there's a major message in there. Pulp is 70% of the cost of production of tissues. What's the big buzz in the world of pulp right now?
Well, the big buzz, if I were to summarize it in a few words, is really the mismatch, if you will, between a healthy demand growth on one hand and I'd say a surge in capacity growth, an unprecedented surge in capacity growth. And so the million-dollar question these days is to figure out exactly how all this incoming capacity will be absorbed by demand, how it will happen over the course of the next 5 to 10 years. And yeah, will it create a lot of volatility, increase intensity, fight for market share between the different producers, and how it will change the global flows of market pulp
What's
going into China.
What's predominantly causing the surge?
Well, I think that's a good question. The cause for the surge. I think what you have on one hand is a market, the Chinese market, which is the single market most where demand is growing the fastest at the moment, which has a real problem of fiber scarcity. So the country isn't well endowed in forests and forest resources, and on the other hand, you've got countries in Latin America and Indonesia, and who have access to low fiber cost wood resources, and they're trying, sort of to speak, to meet that demand as fast as possible. But of course, it's not a coordinated approach to service the market, right? Everybody's independently seeing an opportunity to market pulp into China. And as a result, these investments sort of mushroom left and right to create the situation we're in today.
So the best advice for everyone who's attending the conference, what do you want them to walk away thinking, feeling, knowing, and doing even?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm targeting my message. I'm targeting the tissue producers, right? This is Tissue World in Milan, and as you said, it's the cost of pulp is 70% of the cost of tissue manufacturing. So it's a huge element for them, of course. What I'm trying to tell them, essentially, is that as this overcapacity situation plays out on the market, we expect a lot of price volatility in the next couple of years, and in general, a downwards pressure on prices, as you would expect, when overcapacity occurs. But I think the main message is that they have to keep forming long-term partnerships and keep pushing for higher quality and virgin fiber from the Latin Americans, from Indonesia, has excellent quality and environmental credentials, and which is, at the end of the day, what the end consumer of all the tissue products is demanding. So I think my message is largely optimistic.
Good, but collaboration is key.
But absolutely, which I think is something the industry has a good track record of doing. So
the theme of our conference day today, in particular at Tissue World Milan, has been change is constant, and you're here to talk about change, really, aren't you?
Right. Absolutely.
But it's a good news message if collaboration takes place.
Yeah, absolutely.
How do you suggest that people should collaborate more? Through things like Tissue World, through the magazine, through an understanding, certainly, but what can people do?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's about I would start, looking at it from the end consumer point of view and really understanding what is driving demand for tissue products, but also for the whole paper and board industry, so for all the different end-use markets for pulp. And from there, work your way back up the value chain and realize that for tissue manufacturers to produce the highest quality tissue and meet that demand, they need to partner with pulp producers that are also dedicated to quality, to responding to the environmental concerns of end consumers, et cetera, et cetera. So
and that's the changing, volatile nature of the market.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love it. Well, thank you for being here. I know you're going to rush off and present your paper right now
as well. Yes,
that's
right. Yeah.
And there's a packed hall in there ready to hear your message.
That's right. Good luck with it. The pressure is on. Thank you, Michael.
The pressure is on. Enjoy.
Thank you, Michael.
Nice to have you with us. Thank you very much
being here.
indeed.
No worries.
Thank you.